Hi folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Terminal Conflict. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 30 bucks or so. This is the Commander-in-Chief edition, that is. There is a Flower Power edition that you can buy for around 40 bucks or so. It includes a little bit of extras. The version that you're seeing here is an early access build. However, from what I'm told, the game will be releasing out of Steam's early access program fairly soon, so what you're seeing here should be, for the most part, reflective of the final product. So, what is Terminal Conflict all about? Well, have you ever seen the movie War Games with Matthew Broderick, where he's talking to the computer on the phone, and he's like, I want to play a game, I want to hack into the system, I want to, show me all your games, I'm a big game nerd, I want to get in there, I want to play stuff, I want to play against the supercomputer. Well, he ends up doing that, and little does he know, he hacks into this huge military mainframe and, well, I don't want to spoil the movie. But long story short, Matthew Broderick ends up playing this global thermonuclear war scenario, and people think it's real. Anyway, Terminal Conflict has a similar vibe to that, in the sense that you're on this computer and you're playing war games with a computer. Only it's the Cold War. It's not global thermonuclear war. It's the Cold War. So if you've ever played the board game Twilight Struggle, you'll be somewhat familiar with the time period and what all happened between the US and the USSR. So I have no way of properly giving this game the justice that it could possibly get within 2 hours, 3 hours of playing it. This is a game that's going to require several hours and several how-to-play videos. The manual for this game is 75 pages long, 75 written pages PDF. And I'm not talking large font. I'm talking small font. It's hard to read. I'm just saying, there's a lot of text to go through, because this game is very deep. Twilight Struggle is no joke either, for those of you that have ever played that. This game is, again, you pick one side. You're either the US or the USSR. And if you're the US, you're the blue color. If you're the USSR, you're the orange color. You can change the colors in the options menu if you want to. But you're going to choose a focus. And what I mean by focus, focus is like a part of the world that you're going to be focusing your actions on. However, you can take actions in other regions, but at cost. You've got 5 different resources that you're going to be managing. There's like finance and people and like spies and government and military, I think they are. And they're going to go up and down based on the actions that you take. And if it gets too high, if one of those meters gets to be too high, you lose. And if it gets to be, one of them gets to be too low, you lose. So you have to balance all 5 of these things. To spend them, you're going to be doing things like, okay, I want to move this tank regiment on a different region than what I focused on. So in order to move it, I have to spend people points on that meter. But again, if I bring it too low, then I lose. So yeah, first you assign a focus. You're going to focus on a region to do things. Once you and your opponent pick a region to focus on, it'll unlock I want to say policies and other special effects that you could possibly enact. Again, I've only played for 3 hours, so I'm not an expert at it. But you'll be able to unlock special things that you could possibly enact, assuming you meet the requirements to do so. These things might be like, give up 2 finance to get 4 influence in this region, or what have you. So, there's usually a cost and a reward for doing it. But once you choose a region, you either choose to arm or disarm. It's a posture. The arm posture lets you move military units in that region, and you can do combat. Combat will sometimes earn you victory points based on different factors. There's land units, there's sea units, there's air units. The sea units have a rock, paper, scissors thing, where carriers are good against surface fleets. Surface fleets are good against submarines, and submarines are good against the carriers. So you've got that rock, paper, scissors. You've got just a general tank land regiment, and you've got air like fighters and bombers. So if you choose the arm posture, you can move these things around on that region, and some actions will allow you to secure and take away 2 influence from a particular country. Think of it like influence in Twilight Struggle, that board game I was talking about earlier. You're trying to get influence in various places. Well, by securing areas on that region with military units, you're gaining influence. The other posture is to disarm, which is to remove all of your military units altogether, and there's a chance of victory points doing that as well. There's a chance of getting influence points that you can assign to those areas. What the strategies are, I couldn't tell you. I'm just telling you what I figured out so far. There is a doomsday clock. If things get too hot and heavy, you have to worry about that. After you choose a focus and after you choose a posture, you're gonna focus on the like North America that you focused on, or South America that you focused on, or South Asia. You're gonna focus on these places, but you can still do things in other continents, but you have to spend, or other regions, but you have to spend resources to do it, extra resources to do it. So you can bluff and go for a particular region, but you can go to other places if you want. So there's a little bit of bluffing involved with this too. So as far as the gameplay itself, like I could spend 10 or 20 more minutes trying to explain what I know about the game. And to be honest, 75% of it is still a little unknown to me after 3 hours. So it's, again, as far as the gameplay goes, it's difficult. It's not a game that eases you into it. There are scenarios that you can play, like land battle, sea battle, air battle, and you can sort of play little mini battles to get the hang of that. But you really need to watch how to play videos. You really need to read this manual that's 75 pages long to get somewhat of an understanding of what's going on. So I want to warn you folks that the learning curve in this game is extremely high. If you've played Twilight Struggle, though, and you're fine with it, then you're no stranger to learning curve, because that board game is relatively tough to learn and play. Even to this day, I have a hard time on occasion playing it. Battle is automatic. You'll either win, lose. Every unit has different statuses, which affect certain things. I couldn't tell you what. Like, there's ambushing effects, there's withdrawing, assault, various things like that. You can do recon or infiltration with intelligence stuff. There is nuclear weapons in this game. You can launch those, but of course that messes with the doomsday clock. There's a space race where the first player to get the space race completed will win. That's one of the victory conditions. The other victory condition is getting 100 victory points more than your opponent. That's another way you can win. And again, you get victory points by controlling more land, by spreading your influence, and the more influence you have in a region, the more points you get. So it's an influence game of victory points, and then there's a space race to the side of that. So you're trying to balance the two if you can do it. So all in all, this isn't a bad game. My only complaint really is the learning curve. The game doesn't ease you into it at all. It's tough. And on top of that, there's only one difficulty mode against the AI. I would have preferred to play, like, I want to play the main game against the AI, but dumbed down so that the AI doesn't do a whole lot, that it's passive, and that way I can concentrate on just, I don't know, wasting turns doing things, stupid things that are stupid, so that I can learn from things, you know? So, like, it's either you're going to play against someone that you know, and hopefully you both figure it out, or you get your butt handed to you by the AI several times until you start getting it. I want an easier setting for the computer so that I can play against the computer and learn at my own pace. That's my biggest complaint with the game. It doesn't do enough to ease you into it. So if that doesn't bother you, though, then and you like Cold War stuff, then take a look at this one. Terminal Conflict. If you guys haven't already subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube, that way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.